Welcome back to Sunday Vibes, one and all. And guess what? We've got new mics. You might actually be able to hear us today.
All three of us this week.
It's a mixed blessing.
Coming in your ears.
Oh, that's gross. Fingers crossed. Anyway, you guys have been sending your questions all week. We're about to provide some A's. Christopher Hamill, Patrick Van Straan in a coat today.
I've got a very, very icy G&T, so I'm wrapped up nice and warm.
It's back, no more pretenders. I missed you.
Thank you.
Let's have it then. Maheen Ali Ahmad has the first question.
Oh,
Pronunciation
hello.
on point. There was even a tongue roll in there. He says,
Interesting.
over the years, which player has had the best season but didn't go on to win the Player of the Year? I love this question, Maheen.
Intriguing.
Pato, would you lead us off, my good friend?
Well, I bring him up pretty much every episode of Sunday Vibes, but I am going to go for Yaya Toure in 2013-14. No, be quiet now.
The same year Suarez won it.
The same year Suarez won it. I'm not saying he should have won it over Suarez, but Yaya Toure's season was absolutely outrageous. We all go on about how amazing Liverpool's attack was that season. Man City actually scored more league goals than them. And Yaya Toure scored 20 in the league from midfield and got 9 assists. He was absolutely outrageously good. Over the second half of the season, City took 45 out of 57 points to reel Liverpool in. And basically, to me, the difference between Liverpool winning the title that season and Man City winning the title that season was the difference between Yaya Toure and Steven Gerrard.
Ooh.
Like Steven Gerrard could do a bit in attack, but he was getting old. He couldn't do anything in defence.
Yeah.
Yaya Toure contributed more in attack and more in defence, and City walked away with the title. That's how it is.
It's an interesting one.
Only Suarez and Sturridge scored more goals than him that season in the league. Only Suarez and Sturridge. Nobody else. No other striker. Unbelievable.
That is mental. I've also gone for a midfielder.
Oh, yeah?
I'm throwing it a bit further back. I'm going for Beckham, 98-99.
Were you even born then?
I was born, and it was a disgrace that he did not win the Player of the Year that year.
Yeah,
it's an absolute disgrace.
A four-year-old Joe Tomlinson threw his rattle at the TV.
How can you finish second in the Ballon d'Or, bearing in mind he got 154 votes, and still lose out to David Ginola in the Premier League Player of the Year when he got 1 in the Ballon d'Or voting?
man.
Bearing in mind Beckham finished ahead of the likes of Figo, Zidane, Ronaldo in the Ballon d'Or, but couldn't get it over Ginola. It's absolutely insane. He got 23 assists and 9 goals in all competitions that season, and we won the treble.
Yeah. What did Ginola do?
Spurs finished 11th. So
that's pretty spicy.
Big season for
Pretty
David
spicy
Ginola.
campaign.
Big season. But United won the treble. Beckham got 23 assists. One that came second in the Ballon d'Or and didn't win the player.
The important thing is both of them had great hair.
They did have great hair.
Well,
Beck's then was that sort of drapes. Like that drapes haircut. He's had so many.
the Backstreet Boy.
But what a player and what a season that was. What about you, Hamster?
I'm going to go for Lampard, someone I also mention quite frequently in the 09-10 season. I think Rooney won it that season, but this was the season where Lampard got around 22 league goals.
He did get 22.
12 assists. 14 assists. It's right in front of me. Should have got that right. 14 assists and didn't get it in the team of the season either. And do you know who did get in the team of the season? Darren Fletcher, Antonio Valencia and James Milner in that midfield.
Whoa.
How the hell has that happened?
Contributed to 36 goals across the course of the season has not got in there.
How has that happened?
Absolutely.
How has that happened?
And they won the
title.
title. There was an absolutely outrageous
It was
Ancelotti
outrageous.
team. And also, it's not like one of those things, where some players get overlooked. Like, Frank Lampard was not a guy who the press didn't like. He was a fucking
love
English
him.
star. He's their favourite thing.
In that Ancelotti team as well was also Florent Malouda, who had an excellent season.
Anelka.
Nicolas Anelka in attacking midfield, who had I think that was the season he got over 20 goals, was it not?
He was absolutely
Outrageous.
And barely any of them in team of the season. Maybe there's an agenda against Chelsea that season. Maybe, a Ukrainian picked team of the year. I don't know.
But who do you think was the harshest treated out of these three? Was it Yaya, was it Beckham, or was it Lampard? Let us know in the poll. Viva there. Next question is from Twitter. If you want to send us a Twitter question next week, hit us up on these 3 handles. This one comes from Mihir2897. He says, if you had the chance to be at any position at your favourite club, which position would you choose and why?
You'd be pretty under Zlatan Ibrahimovic, right?
What do you mean?
On top of Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
It's not even a position. It's not a position. I'd go
Beneath
central
him.
midfield. I'm that good.
Oh, really?
Central
Centre
midfield.
mid?
Yeah.
You, Herrera, Pogba, 3-man midfield.
You know what they call me? The Paul Scholes of football
The
daily.
Pitbull.
So
You'd probably get picked ahead of Rooney, to be honest.
wouldn't be hard. Would not be hard.
More mobile than Carrick, I'll give you that.
Equally, you picking centre mid does prove your delusions of grandeur.
Well-
You've just slotted yourself in there, middle of the park,
I know,
straight
but-
off the bat.
But I'd be that terrier spirit we're missing. So, Pato, what are you going for?
Well, I'm a more realistic person. So, I mean, a job that would be really, really fun to work your way up to would be like director of football. That would be a sick job.
You couldn't do that at Arsenal.
Yeah, I could. It'd be
You
easy.
couldn't. Wenger wouldn't allow it. What are you going to do? Stand in the car park directing the football?
Give him a little slap and it'll just crumble into
What
dust.
did he say this week? What is a director of football? He's standing in the car park directing the football.
Yeah,
isn't
it wasn't the greatest press conference response, but I like to think that I'm pretty decent at identifying football talent. Like, and it's something that I enjoy. Certainly, you get to watch different leagues from around the world. You get to like make deals, sort of, for players. I don't know. I just think it's kind of exciting. It must be so exciting to like find like kind of unacknowledged talent in a lower league, bring them to your club, and then see them flourish. That must be such an exciting thing to do.
Let's say you're director of football now.
Yes.
Would you assign Vincent Janssen in the summer?
What, for Arsenal?
Yeah.
Oh,
For
because he was,
Spurs?
For Arsenal?
raving about him.
Yeah, sure.
No, Pato.
Yeah, of course.
Come on. I'm having none of it.
Yeah, but your reasons for signing, you can still get resale value out of him. And bear in mind, he's still 22. He's got plenty of time to come good. Like, there are lots of strikers
More
who...
so than Soldado did anyway.
Bearing in mind that Ian Wright wasn't even playing in the top flight at that age. You
That's
know.
very true. That's a great point. Director of football would make that point. Hamill, what are you saying?
I wouldn't want to spend all my time in dreary old Scotland, although Lennox Town is set against a beautiful green cascade of hills.
Fair enough.
So I'd go for scout. I want to be posted in Spain as well.
But you've already
Just
got
get
good
a tan.
scouts.
We have got a good scout. Well, we had a very good head scout, John Park. He's recently left. We've hired someone from Chelsea whose name I can't remember. And John Park did a very good job. The likes of Virgil van Dijk, Wanyama, Adam Matthews from Cardiff, who's killing it in the Championship.
He's doing
now.
well.
Effie Ambrose from Ashdod.
Oh, not
Effie
big Effie.
Ambrose.
Calm me down.
What a player.
But no, a scout who was posted in a hot country. That's what I'd go for.
There you go. What would you do though if you were at your favourite club and you could pick a role? Let us know using the hashtag my role would be. That seems long. Another Twitter question then. UVGB1 says, what is the greatest transfer of all time? Ooh, Christopher Hamill, lead us off once you finish your drink.
It's pretty hard to argue with your boy Cristiano Ronaldo to United for £12 million.
Madness, Simon.
118 goals later, 9 trophies later, the Ballon d'Or later.
Yeah.
I think he's still won more trophies at United than he has done subsequently at Real Madrid.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Which is pretty impressive. I mean, if I'm going to look a little closer to home at Celtic, obviously you can't look past Henrik Larsson for 600k.
Yeah, that's
when he's
outrageous.
playing out on the wing.
Where was he signed
Feyenoord.
for? Feyenoord.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And he had an
That's great,
absolutely shocking debut as well. Gave
Did he?
away a goal to Hibs in a 2-1 loss, yeah.
You lost.
We
You actually
did.
lost a game.
But
Oh,
unthinkable this season. But Larsson, Ronaldo, Pato, give us some Arsenal-related ones.
I guess the one that you'd probably, I mean, obviously there are people like Henry and Bergkamp, but I might say Patrick Vieira. Like £3.5 million was kind of a lot in 1996. Arsenal hadn't won the league in 5 years. They picked up this guy who everyone kind of said, well, he's an Italian reject.
Yeah.
You know, like he hasn't made it in the top league. I don't know if he's going to make it here. And he went on to become one of the best central midfielders in the world.
Yeah.
Like he won 3 titles. They went undefeated in 03-04. He could do everything in the midfield. Great defender, great attacker, real all-rounder. I mean, to get that for £3.5 million is not too bad.
Yeah, absolutely outrageous. I'd agree with Chris that I think Cristiano
so.
Ronaldo, especially when you sell him on for 80 million, having bought him for 12, I think profit on that. You've also got goals, like you said, a massive fulcrum for a great Manchester United team that should have won a treble when they won the Champions League, really should have. But also Frank Lampard. I have to say Frank Lampard's a potential shout from West Ham.
You could even argue Ronaldo for Real Madrid.
Yeah,
He couldn't have done more there. If they win a third Champions
Scoring more
League
than a
this
goal a
season.
game.
Yeah, and if they win a third Champions League this season, he's won 3 Champions Leagues there and a league, and probably another league this season.
Absolutely
That's not too
ridiculous.
bad.
Although Lampard, you think he has won a Champions League, he's won Premier League, he's won FA Cups.
He's won every
He's
major club
almost,
trophy.
you could say, he's gone on to become one of the biggest legends in Premier League history. And that's at Chelsea. So Frank Lampard's not a bad shout, as well as Cristiano and Patrice Vieira.
How much did Eden Hazard cost Chelsea?
Quite a lot.
35
about
mil.
32.
Was it? And I mean, they've done great business, especially haven't they? Hazard, Kante,
Yeah.
Willian.
Costa.
Willian, Costa of late.
Especially
yeah.
when they make that.
How much did they pay for Azpilicueta?
Oh, low amount, 6 mil.
Because that's a fantastic signing.
Yeah, it's a fantastic
Completed the
sign.
most passes in the Premier League for a defender this season. That's look at a
Ooh.
ball playing defender.
Chelsea doing bits in the market of transfers.
Ooh, what a wrap up.
Nailed that. Go 69 Jesus. Interesting. How's the
Yep.
next question? What team in Europe's top 5 leagues has impressed you the most, and what team has disappointed you the most? For me, impressed. Tottenham Hotspur.
Yes.
Tottenham Hotspur, so good to watch. I love watching Tottenham Hotspur games. Okay, they've fallen off slightly, not going to win a league title, not going to win any trophies yet again under Pochettino, but a brilliant team to watch. Attack so well, they press really high, great defenders, great goalkeeper.
how he brings players along as well.
Exactly.
The evolution of players.
I've loved to see Dele Alli's evolution this season. And in terms of disappointment, for me, it's hard to look past PSG. PSG have really underwhelmed me this season. In domestic terms, on the European stage, maybe a little bit unfortunate to lose to Barcelona, but I was expecting when Unai Emery to come in, when he came in, I was expecting him to take that team to the next level, and he just hasn't managed it. I was expecting him to go, you know what, I've won the Europa League enough times with Sevilla, I've got a massive budget at PSG, he bought Krykowiak with him,
Yeah.
he bought, who else did he bring in? He bought Ben Arfa, he lets Zlatan go. I thought it's going to be a real season of change for PSG, going to push late into the Champions League, walk the domestic league, and he hasn't walked the domestic league. He's out of the Champions League at the quarter-final stage. He scraped past the Monaco, he didn't, he battered that Monaco team that was basically the reserve side in the cup. But for me, he's got to do way more with the budget he's been on. He'll be lucky to survive past the summer, Unai Emery, in my opinion, and that is a proper disappointment.
Yeah.
Comprehensive.
I'd be inclined to agree with PSG. I mean, if Monaco win this weekend, they can't be caught, can they? They are crown champions of League 1. I've been simultaneously impressed and disappointed with one side this season. Ooh, spanner in the works. Roma, Spalletti's Roma. I mean, the work they do with certain players to revive their careers is astounding. You look at Salah's figures this season, he's been incredible. Edin Dzeko has scored the most goals for Roma since the 1934-1935 season in the league. I think he has 27. I think he has 36 in all competitions. Obviously in the Europa League, he got a fair few, didn't he? So he's been incredible. Fazio, who they brought in from Spurs, has been reinvented as a very, very competent, solid centre-back. Chesney on loan from Arsenal, your boys. He said he's learnt more in a year there than he did in the previous 4 or 5 years at Arsenal. I remember we had George on last week. He said your goalkeeping coach is absolutely dreadful.
Yeah,
True about that. But I also expected them to run Juventus. I mean, it's a tall order. It's a big ask, but run them a little bit closer than what are they at current 11 points behind. I mean, it's been a bit of a damp squib again, the latter end of the Serie A. But I mean, they're absolute shot monsters, really entertaining to watch. I watched them smash AC Milan 4-1 last week, and I just love their style of play. Similar to Napoli, the way they suck people in, they just absolutely kill them on the counter.
It's an odd one though, because I was reading some quotes the other day from Spalletti saying he wished he'd never taken over at Roma.
Yeah.
It seems an odd one.
Prime after the AC game.
We got a lot of criticism for his tactics this season, plus benching Totti at various stages in the year. I mean, it's been difficult for him, but I mean, he'll go on and probably do something quite interesting after this. I mean, he's really put himself in the shop window with these last couple of years at Roma. I think they've been absolutely sensational.
And now they've taken Monchi. You don't know where the ceiling is. Fingers crossed they can do a Sevilla and start challenging at least in the Europa League, if not the Champions League, and signing some quality young French league talent, because that's where Monchi's got most of his Sevilla success from. Yeah. What are you saying, Patilla?
I think that actually Juve potentially are a shout for the team that's impressed me the most. I mean, I know we expect them to win the league, but they're probably going to win a third successive double. They're also on for a potential treble this year. And over the last few years in the Champions League, you think about kind of a big three. We often talk about a big three, which is like Real Madrid, Barcelona and Bayern Munich. But the best team in the world this season has been Juventus.
They've been ridiculous.
To only concede 3 goals in the Champions League.
They've been the best team in the world. They've been since they switched to 4-2-3-1, they've been absolutely unbelievable.
Agreed.
I really hope they win the Champions League, mostly for Gigi Buffon. Also, I think Allegri deserves it. The other team who deserve a quick shout out, I mean, Leipzig have come up and had an absolutely stonking season, but Hoffenheim, I think, are actually my pick. They've gone from being in relegation trouble to bringing in Julian Nagelsmann, and now they're going to be in the Champions League next season. The performances from Kerem Demirbay, from Niklas Zula, from Sebastian Rudi, from Andre Kramaric, it's been so good. And if they can add some high-level talent to that, they could be truly impressive. I mean, there's talk
They've got to keep hold of Nagelsmann, though.
but there's talk they'll go for someone like Kelechi Iheanacho. If they got that, that would be absolutely unbelievable. That would be so good for them.
My one concern is that Tuchel leaves Dortmund, and Dortmund poach Nagelsmann. Hoffenheim are back down the league.
That would be troubling, but I think Dortmund are going to go for Lucien Favre from Nice.
Really?
They're going to try and get him in. It seems that talks have already begun, according to
Where's
reports in
Tuchel off?
Germany and in France. Tuchel could end up anywhere. I mean, if I had to put money on it, I mean, Barcelona might fancy a punt, but I don't think they're going that way. You'd imagine that the two leading candidates would be Arsenal, actually the three leading candidates would be Arsenal if Wenger goes, PSG if Emery goes,
That's what I was about to say.
and Roma potentially.
That'd be glorious.
If Spalletti goes, Monchi you'd have thought would want to get Tuchel.
That'd be sexy.
There'd be potentially no compensation to pay. It would be an interesting one. But I mean, if I had to pick, I think he'd be an excellent fit for Arsenal. The question is only whether Wenger would go.
There we have it. At Benji Gribben has the next question. Who has been the best manager in European football this season? Chris Hamill, who are you going to say?
He's always piping up on Twitter as Benji.
Congratulations, Benji.
Thank you for contributing, Benji. I'd go for, as Pat alluded to in the last question, Massimo Allegri. I mean, he's on the cusp of wrapping up. I think he's wrapped up 3 consecutive doubles in 3 years at Juve.
Yeah.
He's on the cusp of the treble this season. He's taken them to 2 Champions League finals in 3 years, for crying out loud. And his team this season has just boasted an unreal defence and such a proficient, deadly attack in the form of
It's a strange one
Dybala,
as well.
Higuain.
When he first joined, I remember he got battered. The Juve fans were so against
he
Max
won the
Allegri
league.
being.
He won the league at AC once in his 4 years. But as we've seen subsequently, post the Allegri era, AC Milan have been an absolute mess. I think after him, they've gone through 4 or 5 managers. At the very least, absolutely ridiculous. But Allegri's also regenerated this Juve side when high-profile players have left. Pirlo was an inspired transfer to Juve, wasn't it? That might have been Conte, but I think Allegri obviously
he's left
maintained.
Now. Yeah.
He got the best out of him still. The likes of Vidal, Pogba, you've got Tevez in there as well. So I think Massimo Allegri for me.
It's a good shout, Pato.
I think Allegri's pretty difficult to beat. The only guy who I think can really match up to him this season is maybe Jardim at Monaco.
Great shout.
I mean, Monaco look like they're going to win Ligue 1. It'll be their first win since 2000.
Fingers crossed, anyway.
They got to the Champions League semis. That's the first time since 2004 when they went to the final. Bear in mind, they were in Ligue 2 4 years ago. In 2013, they were in Ligue 2.
That's ridiculous.
It's unbelievable. Then they tried this. Then they tried this period of like buying in Galacticos and kind of gave up on that very, very quickly with Falcao and James Rodriguez.
Yeah.
And he's so versatile. I mean, in his first season, he knew that he didn't have the resources to go all out and attack. So he built a defensive side, and his team conceded 26 goals in 38 league games. They were absolutely defensive monsters that season. You had a Bakayoko and Kondogbia partnership in midfield. Now, they're attacking maestros. I mean, they've had a little bit of luck on the attacking end this season. Pretty much everything they've hit has gone in. But they've scored over 150 goals in all competitions. That's absolutely amazing. Those are Barcelona numbers. And look at the talent he's brought through. We've got Kylian Mbappe, who's maybe the most exciting young talent in world football. Thomas Lemar, Bakayoko, Fabinho. You've also got Mendy. You've got Sidibe, who isn't as young but still very good. You've got Jemison. He's doing such an incredible job bringing these guys through. You look at that squad now, and before the season, you'd have said, what is the value of this squad? Yeah. And look at it now, and it must have multiplied by 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, at least.
It's absolutely amazing, and I think they've done it while being kind of entertaining as well. I really hope they go on and win the league, because it'll be one in the eye for PSG.
Agreed. It's hard to look past those two. I will throw Zinedine Zidane's name in the hat, though, just because if he is there 2 seasons and wins back-to-back Champions Leagues, it's an exceptional feat. This is only his 2nd season in management. He is on for a league title, which Real Madrid have not done very often. I believe this will be, their second title since like 2010, 2011?
Earlier than that.
Maybe even earlier than that. So if he can win a league title and win back-to-back Champions League, it's an exceptional feat. I actually think some of his transfer business has been really interesting. He seems to have Florentino Perez slightly changing his style, not going out for the Galacticos anymore. You see Morata come back. I think it was a really good signing. Even the likes of Asensio. Asensio is such a lovely player to watch. A great move by Zidane to bring him back as well.
Vasquez as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, Vasquez has had some game time.
Even just keeping those B players like still rolling
Exactly.
along, cultivating the relationships and enabling him to, like he was able to say things to Ronaldo that other people haven't been able to say.
100%.
So like, you need to rest so that we can get the best out of you.
And okay, he's got a massive budget, and he was gifted a very, very talented squad when he took over. And a lot of Barca fans and a lot of people will say, look, it's been down to luck. I'm sorry, you do not win back-to-back Champions Leagues if they do it this year through luck. It just does not happen. It's an exceptional feat if they can get there. They went 40 games unbeaten at the start of the season before they lost to Sevilla. Great effort from Zidane, but I kind of doff my hat. I think Allegri, Jardim have been slightly better, but Zidane well worth a shout. So that's all we've got time for on today's show, but it's a big game today. Tottenham Hotspur versus Manchester United. Let's get some predictions. Chris Hamill.
Tottenham, 2-0.
Ooh, Pato.
I've got to go for the same score, 2-0.
2-0. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Jose Mourinho, classic, boring. Although I did get it wrong last time. It is live on Sky Sports though, so make sure you check that out this afternoon. If you want to get your question featured on this show next week, use the hashtag SundayVibes in the comments right now. Thanks to Christoph, thanks to Pato, and thanks for you guys watching at home, and we'll catch you next time. Bye. Got that out eventually. Fuck.